Welcome to DNT Podcast. The first week of the NFL season has wrapped up. We got a lot to get to this week. So our first topic is Le'Veon Bell. Now he's continuing his holdout with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he might hold out to Week 10 because if he doesn't show up by Week 10, he won't be a free agent. He won't be able to become a free agent next year. So we're going to talk about him right now. Which side are you on? Are you on the Steelers side or are you on Le'Veon Bell?
I guess I'm on more of the Steelers side, just because they showed in week 1 that they don't really need him. Obviously, he is one of the best running backs in the game, and saying that you don't need him is kind of crazy. But, I'm kind of low on the Steelers to begin with, so bringing Le'Veon Bell in isn't going to make them Super Bowl contenders, with or without him.
That's a fair point. I agree with you. I think this. Does he deserve money? Yes, he deserves money. I don't know. I don't think he's in that $20 million ballpark. I guess you can make an argument because Gurley got paid, but Gurley didn't have suspensions. He did have an injury before he came into the draft, but after that, he's been healthy. He hasn't really been a problem with the team. If you look at the running back position, it kind of devalued for me. I think we talked about this a couple podcasts before.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really change anything for me. It's more for me. It's like how good is your offensive line? Because it starts kind of up front. Because if you don't have an offensive line, where's the running back going to go?
Dallas showed that a couple years ago. They had McFadden.
Dallas kind of showed that in week 1, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree. Connor looked good. Connor looked good. If I from the Steelers side, I wouldn't give him $20 million either.
Yeah, I agree. Connor looked really good. Connor's performance wasn't the reason the Steelers lost. It was Big Ben throwing the interceptions and turning the ball over.
Fumbling.
He was the problem in week 1, or they would have won that game. Period.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cutthroat for me on that. They would have won that game if he didn't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
Big Ben. And if you look on his injury history, he tore MCL in 2015. He had a groin injury in that playoff game against the Patriots. That cost what was it, the AFC Championship game.
It was in the first couple minutes of the game.
He cost him that game. He's I think 26, 27. So he's kind of climbing to 30, which in the running back age is kind of old for me.
Yeah.
And people push back, well, there's still 3-4 more years, but he wants a deal of 5+ years, and
mm-hmm.
I don't know the back half of the contract if you're going to get that same production.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Here's the thing with running backs, you can draft good running backs. We've seen this with Kareem Hunt,
mm-hmm.
Todd Gurley, Kamara, Zeke, Fournette, Davion Cook.
And even if you go even a little bit lower, like Joe Mixon from the Bengals.
Joe Mixon, I think he was a second rounder. So
yeah.
I would say the running backs, they have less bust potential when you take them in the draft. Unlike quarterbacks, you can draft a quarterback in the first round, like we've seen Christian Ponder, Christian Hattenberg.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen what's the Bills one? The Bills quarterback that they took. His name slips. No, years back. His name slips me right now. But the quarterback is the position the hardest to find
mm-hmm.
and the most important. That's why you should pay quarterbacks before you're trying to get
running backs. Or even anybody else.
Yeah.
For that matter.
So I'm more leaning towards the Steelers, and it's not that he's not a good player. It's just the position he plays for me. He's the age. He's kind of been a headache a little bit. And Connor is. I'm not saying Connor is as good as Le'Veon, but it's not like a huge drop off. It's not.
it's not going to cost them
games.
a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's how I look at that. They weren't going to make the Super Bowl with Le'Veon Bell, and they're not going to make it without him either.
Yeah.
Or with him.
I mean, he only played one full season of 16 games, so I mean that's a factor for me. So
that's a pretty big factor.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go with Khalil Mack. Now he's been traded to the Bears for a couple draft picks, I believe.
Mm-hmm. And then he signed an extension.
So whose side are you okay with the Raiders trading him away, or do you think they should just help hold him out for whatever?
I think the Bears won this deal. The Bears won the deal, and I mean he did want that extension. That's why the Raiders traded him for the most part. And I don't know. I mean, I understand why the Bears did it. Sign him to that extension, because they're a young team. They have their pieces that they're counting on for the next 3 years at least before they even have to pay him.
The Bears?
Yeah. So that's why I think the Bears were not wrong in signing him that extension. I wouldn't have signed him on a normal team that long of an extension and that high of salary, because then you can't spend money anywhere else. But as I said, the Bears are young and they had their controllable pieces for a long time before they had to give him a new contract. So, but and obviously the Raiders lost. I don't see why you would get rid of him and why you wouldn't want.
Well, I think that the Raiders are going to lose either way, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, what are you saying? If you sign him, you're still not going to win anything with him.
Win.
Yeah, I totally get that. I do agree with that totally, but yeah, but he just brings the fans loved him. He brings in that revenue on that side of the argument, and man,
he was a defensive player of the year last year.
I mean, no matter how bad your team is, you always want that guy. Obviously, Derek Carr is probably that guy on that team, but Khalil Mack was 1A. So, yeah,
you're on Mack's side, basically.
The what?
You're on Mack's side, basically.
Yeah, I think the Bears totally won that. The Bears proved week one that is what they needed for their defense.
I mean, this one's kind of tough for me, but I agree with kind of the Raiders on this, because not that Mack's not a superstar, but I don't see how you pay a defensive end quarterback money. I mean, he's getting paid I think $23 million a year. That's very much near Aaron Rodgers money.
I agree. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But the Bears are in a different spot than most teams because they're young. They had those couple years to not be able to sign.
I don't see how this benefits Trubisky. I feel like you should use that money to build an offensive line, get some receivers. I'm fine with their running backs. I think they're good running backs, but get some better receivers, get an offensive line, and
they've been drafting offensive line though. I mean, I know what you're saying. You do want to go get veterans, but they've been drafting offensive line. I mean, their receivers aren't bad. You got Allen Robinson.
You still got to pay the back end of that defense. I mean, it's not just one pass rusher and that's all you need.
Yeah, They're young though. That's what I'm saying. They're under contract for a couple years, so they have.
I can see your point on that though. They don't have the money. They don't have the money to allocate anywhere else.
For a couple years.
Yeah, but I'll go back to my point a little bit. With he can't impact the game like a quarterback, and I'll bring up the last game with the Packers. I mean, the first half he kind of wreaked havoc, especially on Kaiser. He dished a sack fumble and a pick six. He really kind of tormented him. But you've seen it when Aaron Rodgers came in the second half. Aaron Rodgers did a no huddle, shotgun. And Matt couldn't get to him. And you've seen in that one drive, he was on the sideline about 50% and huffing and puffing, sucking down water. He couldn't really get back on the field when his team needed him the most. So, in that argument right there, like Aaron Rodgers really controlled that second half in a way Matt can't. Mm-hmm. And I did hear on Colin Cowherd's show, I think, about he was on a kind of a
snap count
because he was out of shape.
Yeah,
and I'll go back to that. Like, how are you a superstar but you're out of shape? You're a professional athlete, and you're supposed to be. You got quarterback money, but you can't stay in shape. I get it. You can't practice with the team. I mean, he did get a week of practice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not a whole training camp.
Yeah, like something tells me you should have done more to get yourself in shape, and that's a bad sign for me. I'm not saying he's not a hard worker, and people have questioned his motor, so to speak, not his work ethic, but like his motor a little bit. So that's not a really good look to be out of shape. I mean, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I do. I mean, but at the same time, he didn't know if he was going to be playing this year. Just because of...
Yeah, but you still keep yourself... You're a professional football player.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. I mean, I agree.
You got to be always
ready. There's also... He's going to have a couple weeks here where he's not going to be playing every snap.
Yeah.
Because I think he played at... I think it was 42 snaps. Which is still a lot for any...
Probably half. Maybe more than half.
Which is still a lot for any defensive player, you know, but...
I just, man...
The Bears were just less aggressive second half in that game. So you can look at it that way, too, as a variable, and that's why he sat out a little bit more.
Yeah.
But, but the Bears, back to the main point, the Bears definitely won that trade, and I think they'll be a top 10 defense this year.
Yeah, it'll be interesting on the back half what other pieces they can keep around Trubisky or what they can get at the back half of the contract, and then and if Trubisky develops, then you need to pay him. So it'll be interesting what kind of team they get.
They could even possibly restructure.
Yeah, and it really comes down for me is Trubisky. Like, how much does he develop is what's going to really...
Yeah, because if he doesn't develop, then all bets are off.
Yeah, it's all bets are off.
You got to almost rebuild a little bit.
And
unless you get super lucky and your defense is, totally stacked and you just need to draft a quarterback.
But we've seen, too, defensive players get kind of devalued. I mean, we've seen in the offseason all of the wide receivers getting paid and some of the running backs. And the defensive players weren't getting really paid much because it's kind of turning into an offensive league with the rule changes.
Yeah,
you can't hit anybody.
You can't cover anybody.
You get fined, suspended. It's turning into an offensive league. So that's why, I feel like defensive players are being devalued by the season.
But the defensive players that are very good, like Khalil Mack, that's why they're getting so much money. That can change a game still through all those penalties and through all these speed bumps that they have to go through.
Yeah, I think he's a great player, and I think he should have got paid. I wouldn't...
Quarterback money.
Yeah, I just would... I would personally be at probably 14, 15 million. I know that's the guarantee he really got, but... I'd be there, but not where he's at. The quarterback money.
Yeah, I agree, but that's... The Bears are in a very special spot, so they were able to.
That's a great point. I can't really argue that they really have no money to allocate. All right, so let's go with the overs and unders.
We wanted to talk about Fitzpatrick.
Okay, let's do Fitzpatrick.
Okay.
So are you on the Fitzpatrick bandwagon, so to speak, or you think Jameis should come in when he's ready?
He's coming back. Week 4, Jameis Winston, or week 3?
I think week 4.
Okay, either way.
I think it's 3 game suspension.
Okay, either way though, if Fitz, obviously he's not going to throw for 4 touchdowns, no interceptions every game, but if he plays at least half this good, I don't know if they won. I don't know if Winston starts when he comes back. I don't know. We've seen this before when Fitzpatrick played on the Bills. He just, obviously...
Who was it? Was it
obviously
E.J. Main? That was the name I was thinking of earlier.
Okay,
E.J. Main, the first rounder. But, Was it
I mean,
AJ Manning?
yeah, and possibly even Tyrod at that time too.
Okay.
I'm not 100% on that, but you see him go through hot streaks and hot seasons, and I don't know if he keeps playing at least half this good as he did in Week 1. I don't see why you would bring Jameis Winston into the starting spot, because as it looks now, the Bucs look like they're done with Winston. You think? Well, he's not on any of their promo stuff. He's not on any of their tickets.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
They're not happy with him right now. You know, and see,
I can't blame him.
And because he's underperformed.
Yeah.
Except 1 year, every other year he underperformed since he came into the league, and when I heard about that, him not being on any of the promo stuff, I was like, yeah, they're probably trying to move on, you know. So, like I said, if Fitzpatrick keeps playing the way he is, at least half as good, they're just gonna give him the starting nod. I don't see why you even try to bring, unless you just got that last one slimmer of hope and just want something lightning in a bottle. You know, hopefully he figures it out. You know, that's the only thing I can think of why they would start him again.
Yeah, that is my point. Like, just give him another year, at least another year. Cause I get it. He's on that not bubble, but
it's his make or break season.
Yeah, his last life, so to speak. I'd give him one more year and see if he can get it together. Or
he's up after this year, right? Is he?
I think so.
Okay. And you're not winning nothing with Fitzpatrick anyway, so I can see that too.
But that's what I'm saying. You're not gonna win much with Fitzpatrick, and he's a 35-year-old quarterback. It's not like it's a young prodigy.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a young quarterback behind him that are first or second round pick that you're like, oh, well, let's see what this guy. We've seen this guy for 15 years, so we kind of know
what he's about.
He had great games before. Mm-hmm. This isn't a first.
Yeah.
Great game for Fitzpatrick. So we've seen this movie before, seen this script. So I will give Jameis a nod over Patrick because I know what Fitzpatrick is. I'm not 100% sure what Jameis is. Now, we've seen peaks and valleys with Jameis, but he's still a young quarterback. He's the younger guy. And that's kind of my point. Fitzpatrick, he's an older QB. Yes, he has his highs and lows, but we kind of know what he is. You really just give Jameis his chance.
Okay, I agree. But if he keeps playing this way and they go 3-0,
I still give the keys to Jameis.
Right.
Because
you just want to see what you have for the future.
Yes, because look at the pieces. Mike Evans and D-Jack, they got open. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not saying
But Fitzpatrick's is more of a gunslinger.
I'm not saying Jameis could have repeated that performance, but I'm just saying let him see what he can do. You know what I mean? And then if he does perform really great, and here's another thing too with Fitzpatrick, that's not exactly a top 5 defense he was going up against. He wasn't going against a great
top 10. It was. I'll go top 10 for the Saints defense.
Wow. Well, we'll see. It's a new year. They were kind of.
They were young.
They kind of itching the top 10 last year. I'm not sure about this year with that first week performance, but let these few weeks play out. But I'm leaning definitely towards Jameis, and I'm not a Jameis fan. He has a lot of off-field problems and on-the-field problems that I disagree with. But he's a younger QB, and I still want to see what he has.
Yeah, I would probably move that way too, depending on what the next couple weeks look like, though. Because owners they always want to push for that playoff. If they start off 3-0, they're gonna be high. They're gonna be high.
Yeah, but it's not like it's gonna be 6-0, 7-0. You know what I mean? It's not well.
Let's be realistic here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know who they exactly play. But
yeah.
Let me see a few more weeks. 'Cause I feel like he's going to slip up a little bit.
Yeah. He's not gonna play that well every week.
I think on a league he's going to be voted top performer in QB. So He was the top performer in the whole NFL,
Yeah.
so I don't think he's going to be able to repeat that every week.
I agree. Yeah, he's not going to be able to repeat that.
So let's do our over and unders for the season.
Okay. We'll start off with the Ravens. They are they were projected at 8 wins. So, do you have them under or do you have over on 8 wins for the Ravens?
I have over, but I think it's going to be not. I mean, I think it's going to be close. I have them at 9 and 7, so kind of like barely over. I mean, I wouldn't really be shocked if they go 8 and 8 or 7 and 9, but I like their defense. All right, it's really talented defense. I mean, Flacco. Flacco seems like he has like an edge this year, and he's kind of like with Jackson being behind him. So I know it was the Bills. Like I'm not getting overexcited about it.
And Nathan Peterman.
Yeah, it was the Bills.
I mean, I agree with the. I had the Ravens at under 8. I had them at around 7. But like I agree with the defense at home. Once they go on the road, they're a little bit different. We've seen this last year, especially at the beginning of the year. Like the first month of the season, they were top 3 defense, and as the season progressed, they became a shell of what they were the first month of the season.
I think they had a few injuries because I think Suggs got hurt. I think if I might be.
I think Weedle got or
he got
Weedle got hurt middle of the season or so, but. Either way, they're a different team on the road, and we have yet to see them on the road this year. Yeah, because they played the Bills at home. So
and then like I'm not really high on their division, like the Steelers. Obviously, I think the Steelers come down a little bit.
Steelers always underperform.
So I feel like they're going to split against the Steelers. I feel like they're going to take both on the Browns. I'm not 100% on it, but I feel like they're going to take both on the Browns and split the Bengals.
Well, I had them taking 2 against the Bengals.
Okay.
And I have them possibly losing both to the Browns.
Really?
You could talk me into a split, but then again, it depends who plays for.
Yeah,
it depends who plays for the Browns. If Baker Mayfield comes in here week 3 or 4,
then that'll change me.
Yeah, I'll lean more Browns.
I'll lean split on that if Baker comes.
And then we had them winning. We had the Ravens beating the Titans, the Raiders, and the Bucks. And then did you have another team that they were possibly? Because you have a little bit more wins than I do.
No. I mean, I think they're just a defensive team that's going to keep themselves in games. I think. What was it? I mean, I'm good to the schedule right now. It's just a good defensive team, and I think they'll keep themselves in a lot of games. And, I mean, they're one of the tougher teams to kind of predict.
Yeah.
I'll just pull it up.
Hot and cold. A hot and cold
Yeah, it's going to be a second to load up here. Yeah, I mean, I have them beating Denver Broncos. I have them beating Titans.
See, I don't really see them beating the Broncos.
You don't see that?
And it's at Denver, correct?
Yeah. No, it's at Baltimore.
Okay.
And then Oakland Raiders, it's at Baltimore. So, and I kind of like the Chargers and Buccaneers. So, I kind of like the Ravens.
You see them beating the Chargers?
I kind of do, yeah.
I still like the Chargers. So.
I mean, I think it'll be a close game, but yeah,
San Diego's defense is pretty good as well, especially when Bosa comes back.
Yeah, Bosa was hurt.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not that high on the Ravens. I have them under 8 at 7. So we disagree on that one.
All right, so go to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, next team is the Pittsburgh Steelers at 10.5 wins. I am very under on this one. Steelers always underperform. No matter which way you slice it, they always underperform.
Last year they didn't, or 13-3, but.
Oh, God. And then, third, 4, 5.
This year seems a little different, yeah.
Well, with
the Browns.
Well, the Browns are just better this year. The top 10 defense for me, Browns. But back to the Steelers. I mean, they'll take 2 against the Bengals. They'll beat the Bucks. I can see them beating the Ravens once. I can see that splitting with the Ravens.
Yeah, I agree.
That's usually always how it goes.
That's what I have, yeah.
So, man, I had them at 8 wins, and under 10.5. I do not underperform team. And Ben is one of the most overrated Hall of Famers there ever was. I cannot get over that guy. God, I don't see.
He has not had a good start to the season.
He hasn't had a good season for 3 years. Oh my God! I don't understand like the Big Ben love. I mean, I understand like he won you what 2 Super Bowls?
2 or 3, right? 2, I think.
Man, cut bait. God, like. Move on. I mean, you might have to move on from Mike Tomlin after this year if they don't do anything.
I agree with that, yeah.
So,
I've been low on Tomlin for a minute now, though. So. He lets too much go on in that locker room that I'm comfortable with.
Just not strict enough. Like, he just doesn't
get
his guys ready.
I mean, James Harrison said it the other week. He's not a disciplinarian. He doesn't keep his team, together like Bill Belichick does.
Kind of like a Rex Ryan type.
Yeah, he's a player coach, but just too much player for me personally. But
I mean, is that some of the reason why the Steelers don't want to pay Le'Veon as well? Like because they see Ben getting old, and Tomlin might not be in Pittsburgh after this year. Man, I don't. Things might be getting a little rough in Pittsburgh here, especially if the Browns go in. I know the Browns are better this year. We called that. But if they go into Pittsburgh and beat Pittsburgh, hell's going to break loose. Like, people are going to be getting fired maybe before the end of the season. So I said, I see them beating the Bucs, the Ravens once maybe, just because that's just how these rivals play every year. The Bengals twice. Man, they already tied with the Browns, so that's almost as bad as a loss for the Steelers. So, yeah, I mean, who else do we have on their schedule? I mean, they got the Falcons. They got the Chiefs next week. I don't see them beating the Chiefs. Not after what we've seen week 1 from Mahomes.
It's going to be a close game, I think.
So, where are you at on the Steelers?
According to what it was, 10.5 wins. I guess a tie doesn't count. So, I have 10-6. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it went 9-7. I'm a little bit more high than the Steelers than you. I just think Connor's good. He's a good replacement for Bell. So like I'm not really factoring that in too much. I think they'll win their fair share of games. I think, Big Ben. It's not looking good. But I'm just going to say, because of the talent around him, that he'll do better, just based on the talent around him.
I mean, they do always end up winning games.
Yeah.
But, my God.
Like the regular season doesn't seem like it's much of a problem for them most of the time. I mean, it's a horrendous start. Like, it is what it is.
You can say the division got a lot, maybe not a lot better. Man. Maybe not a lot better, but better. Because the Bengals are kind of
just based on the Browns getting better. Because I think I'm pretty low in the Bengals.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Bengals kind of took the Browns' spot this year.
Yeah.
So even when you think about like that,
and they're no pushover either. They just beat the Colts. So.
Well, I mean, and it is that division. Every team plays each other tough.
Yeah. So, it's a tough. It's a rivalry. Like
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I mean. That's why, like, you can see every one of these division games going either way for them.
Yeah, like I have.
They don't have a defense either. Like they don't have a defense.
I think they have a little bit of defense.
Ah, man. I mean,
they hold the Browns to 21. That wasn't too bad. And
but Tyrod Taylor wouldn't throw the ball 5 yards down.
And you got to look at those turnovers. I think the Browns got points off those turnovers.
No,
so that wasn't.
They only got probably 7 points off those turnovers.
Which is only 14 points given up.
But when you get 5 turnovers.
Yeah, it's hard to win. I get that, but that's not on your defense. I'll go this. I'll say they'll split against the Ravens. I think they'll take both. It's hard for me to say they'll beat the Bengals twice, but I think they will. And I think they'll win the Browns. I mean, it's not looking. I mean, it's going to be at Pittsburgh next time, so I kind of like them beating the Browns. They have a few they have a few tough games here, but they have Buccaneers. I think they'll win that. Broncos, Raiders, Chargers. I think they'll win those games. So, but I have them at like 10-6.
That Browns game though is week 6.
But I'm still low, yeah.
But we could see Baker Mayfield in there at that time.
It could potentially change. If that's his first start, I'm still taking Steelers. Mm-hmm. But if Baker has a few starts, maybe, and I'm seeing flashes, I might think about it. But at Pittsburgh, that's going to be a tough, not an easy one.
And back to the defense real quick. They're the third best defense in the division. You got the Browns and the Ravens, which I will take their defense, both those defenses over Steelers.
Yeah, but Ravens and Browns, I think, have close to a top 10 defense. So it's not like they're both like 20th defense, and we're talking about like 30th. So
where do you see the Steelers defense?
I think top 10. I think they're mid pack.
Not top 10.
Yeah, not top 10. I think they're middle pack. I like Joe Hayden. He's a hell of a corner. I think he's hurt. I think, right?
Well, I seen he was playing. I don't know if he got hurt in that game.
I like Joe Hayden.
Yeah, I do too.
There are other players I'm not really high. As far as the secondary, I'm not really high on.
Yeah, but
T.J. Watt was a monster.
He looked good. He did look good. But you do need a little bit more than that, though. You got an aging Joe Hayden, although I do like him.
I don't think he's aging. I think he's like upper 20s. I think he's in his prime. I disagree.
Man, I don't. I know the Browns are the Browns, but they seen something and let him go. Obviously he played good.
I think that was more of a rebuilding mode, so I disagree. Because Browns are really bad there. They're just kind of trying. They didn't want to pay anybody. That's why they have so much salary cap space. They didn't want to pay anybody. They just unloaded all their talent to kind of rebuild.
Yeah, I'm going to have to see more from the Steelers defense, though, if they want to win this division.
I agree. I'm low.
Because
I have under the 10.5.
We know what the Steelers offense can do. So it always comes back on their defense. If they could play top 10 defense, then sure, they can definitely win 10 games.
Yeah.
But
all right, so let's go to the Bengals. They're projected at
6. They're projected at 6.5 wins.
So where are you at on that?
I have under on them. Where you're under too, right?
Yeah, I'm under too.
Okay. Bengals just they look bad this year. We kind of seen that coming in. We kind of knew they didn't have like a great draft. They didn't really pick anybody up.
I was a little bit surprised they beat the Colts, but Colts had a chance in that game and they blew it with that fumble.
Yeah, and they had a red zone pick. Andrew Luck had a red zone pick. I see that. I see the Bengals around 4 wins. I can see them beating the Dolphins, the Bucks, and possibly the Raiders. And then they already got the 1 win at the Colts. So that puts me to 4.
Buccaneers, did you have them?
Yeah, Bucks, yep.
Tough schedule. The Dolphins on there? No.
Yeah, I can see them beating the Dolphins. So, but that's going to be a close game, too.
You think the Browns are taking both games?
When is that? When are they playing the Browns?
Later. Week 11.
Week 11?
And week 16.
Yeah, week 16 and week 11 or 12. So, shit. Tyrod Taylor might be out of a job by then. Definitely. You might be on Baker Mayfield's 6th start at that point. So, I don't know. I can see... I can see Baker Mayfield coming in as soon as week 3 or 4, honestly. If Tyrod Taylor played like he played week 1 against the Steelers, he didn't play bad, don't get me wrong, but you need to throw the ball more.
I've tried to tell you that's what he does.
I know.
It frustrates you, and it frustrated me because...
I understand that's what he is. He's a game manager and stuff, but you just got to throw. You got to keep the defense
That's how
honest.
He doesn't turn the ball over. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, you're right.
So he doesn't lose games, but he won't win games for you either because he's hesitant on throwing the ball.
He's lucky that the Browns have good top 10 defense this year.
Yeah.
And that's what kept them in that game. He didn't keep them in that game.
I gotta say, Hyde looked decent.
Yeah, Hyde looked good. Josh Gordon looked good. Landry looked good. Browns are gonna be fun to watch this year.
Okay, so you're under on the Bengals. I'm also under on the Bengals. I have them about 6-10. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised 5-11, but I'm low like you are on them. Andy Dalton just doesn't move the needle for me.
And even AJ Green, we had a conversation. We had a conversation in our group chat this weekend. I mean, is AJ Green even a top? What we were saying, 3 or 5 wide receiver?
I think 5.
Okay, that's a question in and of itself. I haven't seen anything to make him a top 5.
I have him about 5 or 6. I mean, it's kind of like he's kind of that Keenan Allen kind of realm for me. I'm a little bit more high, I guess, than you guys both were, but I mean, I think he's still definitely a top 10.
Yeah, definitely receiver. Top 10. But
I mean, I don't know if it's top 5 or not, but I put him in that Keenan Allen.
It could be because of
his personality.
Well, it could be because of Andy Dalton. Just not, because he's kind of like Matt Ryan a little bit with Julio Jones, but and then you can say Josh Gordon. He never had a quarterback as good as Andy Dalton either, and when he played, he put up good numbers. So, AJ Green, he's not gonna get. I don't think he's gonna really move the needle on the over under here.
No, he's not. So I mean, they're just okay on offense, okay on defense, and they have a tough schedule. So that's what it kind of bears down for me.
Yeah.
Anything else on it?
That's pretty much it. I mean, that division's pretty wrapped up right there.
Okay.
So our next one is the Dallas Cowboys. They are coming in at 8.5 wins. Where do you see the Cowboys this year?
I have them just about 8-8, 7-9. I mean, their first game, they did not look good. I mean, Dak, it seemed like they kind of figured Dak, the NFL seems like they figured Dak out a little bit. And then, number 2, he just doesn't have the receivers.
Yeah, I was going to say, they stacked the box and the receivers can't get open.
They stacked the box. Elliott can't run. Receivers can't get open.
And Ezekiel isn't that great of a pass catcher either.
Yeah. And even though Cowboys had a decent defense performance, I'm not buying that.
And just the Panthers don't have an explosive offense either, so that could have covered up, making their defense look a little bit better than what it is too.
Yeah. So I got bad news for Cowboys fans. You're not going to the playoffs.
Well, I got really bad news for Cowboys fans. I have them winning 5 games. I have them under 8. So, I mean, I can see them beating the Lions. They have the Lions coming up. I can see them beating the Redskins once, but that's not going to be easy either. They might get swept by the Redskins. I had them beating the Titans. I had the Cowboys beating the Titans, Colts, and then the Bucks. So, I mean, will they beat the Giants twice? I don't see that. I don't see them beating the Giants twice. The Redskins possibly split, and then the Eagles. They're not beating the Eagles twice.
Yeah, I mean, I have them splitting with Giants and Redskins, and beating some easy teams on their schedule. So I'd like the Lions, possibly, and I mean they might beat Seattle. So I mean I don't know, but I have them 7-9, 8-8. I don't know.
Yeah, I have 5 wins. Right. So that's what.
So let's go with the Chiefs. Where you have them?
Yeah, Chiefs are coming in at 8.5 wins. So I have over on the Chiefs. We weren't sure what Mahomes was going to be this year, but week 1 he looked great. Week 1 he looked ready. He looked like he's going to win a couple games this year at least. So I have them over 8.5. I have them about 9, 8.5 to 9. So I'm over. You're over too, correct?
Yeah, I'm about 9-7, 10-6. I'm leaning more 10-6. I mean, if you look at the division, I think they're going to split against Chargers. I know they already beaten the Chargers, so I mean, I think they're going to split against Chargers. I think they may I think they might beat the Raiders twice, to be honest with you. And
yeah, I can see that.
And man, I'm low in Denver, so they might beat Denver twice for me.
I have a split with Denver. I'll take Denver once.
I mean, I haven't beaten like the 49ers. I haven't beaten the Bengals. I haven't beaten the Cardinals, Browns, Seahawks.
I have them beating the Steelers. So
the Ravens one, I think, is going to be a tough game. That was
that a Baltimore?
That was at Kansas City week 14.
Okay.
That's going to be a really tough game for me, but I see them edging them out.
Well, like we said, Baltimore's defense is not the same on the road.
Yeah.
So
it's at Kansas City.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it to the.
Yeah, I like Kansas City in that game over Baltimore. So.
And I'm really impressed with Mahomes, like you.
He came in a divisional stadium and lit it up.
Yeah.
If they can stay healthy, I mean.
Against a pretty good Chargers secondary. That's not
Yes, Chargers have a decent defense. I mean, I don't know if I'm.
Casey Hayward is a monster.
Would you say top 10 for San Diego? See, that's close. I don't know if I would go there, but they're
definitely top 15.
They're a good defense. Yeah, they're a good defense.
Especially when Bosa gets back.
Bosa wasn't playing, so that could have a little bit of something.
So I think they'll get him this. I think Chargers will get him the second round.
Yeah. Well, when's the next?
Week 15.
Okay, yeah, he'll definitely be back by then. So, but San Diego. I mean, they always start out slow though too. So.
Yeah, I mean, Kansas City has so many weapons. I mean, Tyreek Hill, Kelsey. Even though Kelsey didn't have a good week.
No, I think he only had one catch.
Yeah, one catch. Yeah.
So,
Kareem Hunt. So I mean.
And the defense is still okay. They got
Sammy Watkins.
Yeah, they got rid of some of their defense, but. I mean, they're still fine. They're still okay.
Yeah.
They're not like 30th in the league.
They have to tighten that up a little bit because Phillip Rivers threw over 400 yards on him. So
Rivers still had a good.
They definitely missed the one corner they lost.
Yeah, that went to the Rams.
Yeah. What was his name? Peters. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, they got to tighten that up a little bit. They got Eric Berry still back there, right?
I've been hearing things. I don't know if he's out or in. I
don't know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I like the Chiefs. Mahomes look really good at 9, 7, 10, 6.
Yeah, I see 9+. I can see 9+.
All right. So let's go with the Chargers, who we just talked about for a good bit.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, they're coming in at 9.5 wins. And I still see over. For the Chargers. I see 10 wins. So, I mean, I see them beating the Bills, the Raiders twice, Titans, Steelers, I see them beating, Bengals, and the Seahawks. So that right there is can get you over 10 wins.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of a solid all-around team. Rivers looked really good. Gordon kind of had a little bit of a hiccup. I think he only had like 60-something yards.
He had a modest day.
Yeah. I like for him, he needed to be established a little bit more in that game for me.
But they got down quick, though.
Exactly. So it was kind of hard to get him in there more. But, I mean, their defense didn't look good. I mean, but they do have, I mean, I don't understand it on the defense. Oh, I mean, I guess with Bosa being out, that kind of really took a toll on them. Couldn't rush the passer.
The secondary didn't look as good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. With more time, you kind of don't look that good. But, if Bosa comes back, I think they'll be decent, and I have 10-6, so I'm over.
Yeah, I'm about right there. I'm 10.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, do you have them beating Denver twice?
Man, I think they'll split.
Okay.
I'll go split on that, and yeah, I'll go split.
Okay.
And then here's the other one, Raiders. I think they'll take both of them. So.
Okay.
Nice.
So our next team is the New York Jets, who looked very good last night. Stomped a mud hole in the Detroit Lions. So
I mean, they didn't look good at first with the pick 6 from Darnold.
Oh man, yeah. When I seen that, I was like, I had him on FanDuel. So and I was like, when I seen that, I was like, oh, thank God that's out of the way. And after that, man, he was cruising. I had no doubt in him. So. But I think, I don't want to get off topic here with the Jets, but Browns may, until we see what Baker Mayfield is, Browns may be regretting that, giving up Sam Darnold over Baker.
Yeah, I've said that from day one.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I have been too, but we'll see. But the Jets are coming in at 6 wins, and I have them over right now. I even before the season, I probably would have had them over because I just like Sam Darnold that much. So I can see them beating the Dolphins twice. They already took the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
I can see them beating the Colts. I can see them beating the Bills, especially if Josh Allen isn't in there. If Josh Allen's in there, then I could see possibly a split on that. And I see them beating the Titans too. So that right there puts you at 7. And that's where I have them, at 7 wins.
Yeah, I have them at. I'm pretty high on Jets. I'm 7-9, 8-8, and honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if they got the 9. Because I'm looking at the schedule right now. They have a really, I wouldn't say easy schedule, but favorable schedule. I mean, and I think they'll have a shot at the Patriots once. I mean, they always seem to play them tough. I mean,
the defense is no slouch, though.
The only really tough games I really see is the Packers and the Vikings, and then you kind of have
the Bears
and the Patriots. But
I'm not saying as a law or a win.
I think they're going to beat the Bears, so I'm not really.
It's at Chicago, and you know how the field is at Chicago. It messes up visiting teams.
I'm not going to say it's going to be an easy win. I think it's going to be a close game.
What do you see about the Texans there?
I mean,
late in the year.
Where is it at? Is it at Texans?
No, it's at the Jets.
Man, I kind of like the Jets.
I mean, it depends on Watson.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it always comes down to QB being healthy, but...
Yeah, but Watson didn't look healthy first week of the season.
Yeah, so I'm going to take the Jets on that game, and I'm going to go with that.
Okay, so you're definitely over.
Yeah.
You're way over.
And what was it, Corral?
Isaiah Corral.
He looked phenomenal.
And their second back, their receiving back, Powell, he ran for 60 yards last night.
I didn't expect that kind of run game out of the Jets. So,
but you got to think though too, all they did was run the second half
because
they were up by 30. So
with the turnover.
So that kind of might skew that number a little bit. But I mean, they still. I mean, I knew Detroit is
just
bad.
because people are so down on the Jets running backs and the other pieces, you know what I mean? It's still kind of impressive.
And once you have a good quarterback, that opens up the whole field. That opens up the whole offensive playbook.
And I mean, Darnold didn't light it up. I mean, he didn't even get to 200 yards. So, but I still liked what I saw.
Yeah, he still threw for 2 touchdowns. I mean, he
looked like he belonged there. He wasn't afraid of the moment. And I like him.
I don't want to say he was the game manager because he was more than that.
Yeah,
he was still more than that last night.
He was a little bit more than that. Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
And for a first start, I mean, come on. I mean,
at Detroit, it wasn't at home, so
yeah. So it was a good one.
Yeah, I like the Jet. I like Sam Darnold, man. He's gonna be good.
All right, so let's go with the 49ers.
All right, 49ers are coming in at 8 wins.
What do you think?
Man, I did not like doing
Jimmy G. Jimmy G.
I didn't like doing this. Once I was looking at the schedule, I was like, my God, I don't like what I'm seeing here. I might have to go under on this one. I'm seeing more. I'm seeing 7 wins. Okay, the wins are coming from the Lions, Cardinals, Raiders, Seahawks, Bucks. Man, I don't know.
Was it at 8? Is that the...
Yeah, the over-under's 8.
Yep.
I have them at around 7. I don't know. I love Jimmy G, man, but this schedule does not look favorable at all. Yeah. You got Kansas City Chiefs coming in at week 3. You got the Chargers coming in at week 4. Packers coming in at week 6. Rams coming in at 7. Oh my! That right there is real tough.
Yeah.
I mean, and the 49ers don't have a great defense. That's the only thing. That's why I'm leaning under, because Jimmy G can do what Jimmy G does, but if the 49ers are giving up points like that to explosive offenses yet too, I mean they're not just good teams. They're good offenses. So I see under on here. I didn't like putting that down. I didn't like putting under down there, but Man, that's what
It kills you, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does, very much.
Yeah, I'm also under. I'm right where you're at, kind of 7 and 9. I'm not really high on the defense, just like you said. And Jimmy G, he doesn't look focused. I mean, look, it was the Vikings, and I'm gonna put it in context. It was the Vikings and probably a top 5 defense. So tough environment. It was at Minnesota, game 1. But he didn't look like he put in the preparation to me. He was a little deer in headlights. And let's not forget, last year he didn't have a great touchdown and interception ratio. He had like 7 touchdowns and 5 picks. So it's not like he won 5. He was 6-0, but it's not like he lit it up every game either. So,
but you also
needs a lot of help from his defense.
You have to throw that into context though too. He just got traded 2 weeks prior and got
it's not perfect conditions.
Yeah, got thrown in there.
But it wasn't week 1. I mean, it wasn't like, I don't know.
I know what you're saying, but any positional player, especially quarterback, getting traded or just going to a new team, a new system in 2 weeks and getting thrown into the starting job because someone got hurt, it does.
I mean,
I understand by the end of the season, but you would have to go by game with that kind of sample size.
And I still like him. I'm just kind of maybe disappointed, kind of what I see, because like
I think you're a little low on the Vikings though. I think that's what it is. I don't know. I
don't know. I mean, we'll get to the Vikings later, but I don't think so. I mean, I just expected.
You said top 5 defense for Vikings?
Yeah.
I don't know who you have at top 3 then.
You have like top 1.
No, I have them probably 2.
I mean, you got Jacksonville up there.
Yeah, I might actually have Jacksonville at 1. I don't know. It's tough. Minnesota's 1-2. You can switch Jacksonville for me. Either way.
Rams up there, but
yeah.
I mean, their schedule's tough, man. The schedule's really tough, and
I wasn't expecting to see that kind of a schedule there for them. For the 49ers.
You do have Cardinals twice, but I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but okay, you got Cardinals twice. That's only 2 wins.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so.
And then the running back situation is kind of a little messy for me. A
yeah,
little murky.
McKinnon's out.
McKinnon's out
for the year.
So the backup didn't. What was it? Breeden? Well, Breeden didn't look good. But what was the other one?
Yeah, I don't know.
It escapes me right now. But the running backs didn't look good, and damn.
Well, see that could have been a thing there too. And Jimmy G I wasn't able to watch that game, but he was just in pass probably mode all the time, the whole game, and you're not going to beat the Vikings in pass mode.
I watched a good bit of it on the red zone, but
okay.
I don't know, man. I'm deer in the headlights. And Jimmy G, this isn't his first rodeo, and kind of disappointed me a little bit. I didn't expect him to light it up against the Vikings, but I expected a little bit better.
If the schedule wasn't this tough, I would go over 8. But the schedule is just back-to-back weeks, or especially early here, it looks bad.
Yeah.
Or it looks tough.
All right, so let's go with the Redskins. What were they at?
Yeah, the Redskins are coming in here at 7 wins. That looks low, but I have under. I have them around 6. They have, or where do you have that?
I have a push.
Okay, you have them at straight 7.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I can see them beating the Colts, Cowboys once. But I can see them beating the Cowboys twice. So if that would happen, that would put me at push 7. So and then I have them beating the Buccaneers and the Titans. So, I mean, Redskins look good. They look good against Cardinals. I mean, I know the Cardinals. Yeah, I know it was the Cardinals, and they're just in rebuilding mode this year.
It was at Arizona too, for whatever that's worth. But
yeah, we'll just say neutral field. So, yeah,
I got to see more from the Redskins. I know they look really good, but it's against Cardinals.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, because we see Alex Smith, once the weather gets cold, he starts to go missing.
It's Washington. It's not,
It's not south anywhere.
Well, I mean, Kansas City isn't the warmest place either.
No, but we stay in Kansas City. Once it gets cold, once the weather starts to change,
he kind of relies on his running game, and I don't know if he's going to have it. Like,
do you see Peterson holding up?
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I was just going to say. I mean, I have 7-9, but man, I'm banking on a 31-year-old running back. I know he's really good, but he seemed like he put a little bit of weight on. He seemed like he lost a little bit of quickness, even though he performed fairly well. I think he had 96 yards,
A touchdown.
but his rushing attempt was like 3.7 yards per carry.
Okay.
So,
I mean, you wouldn't want any less than that.
yeah, it was just an okay performance. So if he can hold up, I guess that's okay. But I'm really big on Chris Thompson. I think he should get more carries. I mean, I think he had like almost 25 fantasy points in my league. Yours might be completely different, but he had a really good performance. I mean, he can make catches out of the backfield. I like to see him get some more rushing carries because he's really explosive. He's fast. He can catch the ball.
I'm sure there'll be some games where they split carries with AP just to keep them fresh.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, I'm 7-9, and I mean, you got Josh Norman on that defense. You have a couple Kerrigan on the defense. You have a couple pieces.
Yeah, so I mean,
Swarger.
That's why I can see them beating the Cowboys twice.
I have them about split the Cowboys.
I have split too.
Split the Giants, and yeah. So
see, and
they might be able to give Philly a run. I mean, I don't know if Philly's going to go 6-0 in the division. That's kind of hard. So I mean, they're going to slip up at some point.
Well, you see their loss coming from you see Philly's one loss possibly coming from the Redskins, not the Giants or Cowboys.
Right.
Okay.
So if they slip up, I think it'll be the Redskins.
Okay.
Because I'm just really low on Cowboys and Giants.
Yeah. See, we'll get to the Giants later. But, yeah, we'll talk about the Giants later.
Because, Alex Smith doesn't turn the ball over, and I feel like if Philly stalls a little bit on offense, it could be a close game. You know what I mean? I can kind of see it. But that's what happened the rest of
Okay.
I mean,
so, and then we'll move to the Giants now since we just want to talk about them here. I have, on these other teams here, I have Giants beating them. But somehow I'm still under the Giants, and the Giants are coming in at 7.5. And somehow I'm under, and I don't know what's going on here. I mean, I see them beating the Cowboys twice. I see them beating the Texans. I see them beating the Bucks, Colts, and Titans. And I'm coming in at around 7, so that puts me a half game under. I don't know. I mean, I can see the Giants winning 10 games though. I don't know where it's at here for me.
I don't know where you see 10. I see 6 and I see under. Was it 7.5?
Yeah, 7.5. Yeah, I have written down here under, but man, I knew they can go off. I mean, their defense is good, and they got weapons on offense now. I can see them pulling off a win streak.
Here's where I'm at is the reason why I'm so low on Giants. Eli.
I agree.
He doesn't move the needle for me. He just makes turnovers. He's not consistent. Even with Odell Beckham, he's like forcing it into Beckham 20 million times. He'll frustrate you. And I think he'll lose games.
I mean, you got the next 5 weeks here. You got Cowboys, Texans, Saints, Panthers, Eagles, Falcons, and Redskins, and then their bye week.
Hell of a fucking tough ass schedule.
Those last couple games are tough right there. But if you could just get
49ers, it doesn't really get any easier.
If you could pull off like a 3-game win streak there, they can get over. I think over the 7.5.
I mean, I'm shocked they're at 8.5. I mean,
7.5.
7.5.
Okay.
I mean, I would be shocked if they went 7-9. To be honest with you, I mean,
man,
I'm at 6-10.
I'm high on the Giants, but when I see it on paper, I'm not liking it.
I really do like Barkley. I really do, but I just don't think they're gonna. I think they're gonna stack the box, and I don't know.
Yeah, it does depend on Eli, obviously.
Yeah, it's all Eli for me.
Yeah, because the defense is all right.
The defense is all right, and the running back's all right, and the offensive line...
And the receivers are all right.
The offensive line is decent.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously they played the Jaguars first week, so that's like well, as we said, top 2 defense. So I don't want to put too much stock in how bad they look. But I mean, I see under. On paper here, I have under 7.5, but I can see 10 wins there too.
Yeah, I mean, their division's kind of, it's all going to be competitive other than Philly, but I don't know.
Okay. And then our last team here is Vikings with 10 wins, over under. I have over. I have them at around 11, possibly more than that yet too. So, and then the teams here that they're going to lose to and even possibly win, it's 50-50 here for me, would be the Rams, Eagles, Packers once, Saints, and Patriots. They could win all those games though too. They could go undefeated. I don't know. I don't know. They could go less 11 wins. The least is 11 wins. Most is 16. I don't know. You got top 2 defense, a quarterback that actually knows how to use his receivers now, and Kirk Cousins has a good running game now. He never had a running game in Washington, in Washington, and I don't know, man. Vikings might they're gonna be good this year.
Yeah, I mean, I have them at 11-5 as well. I think if Aaron Rodgers stays healthy, I think they split. But I mean, yeah, the division other than that's kind of weak with the Bears and Lions. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. They do have about 4 or 5 tough games. Well, maybe 5 or 6, but I think they're definitely winnable too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because they're not going to get blown out of the water.
But it
by
does
the
seem
Rams,
like
Eagles, Packers.
It
Saints,
does
Patriots.
seem like they're tough games. At Green Bay, at Rams, at Eagles.
Yeah. At
New England, are on the road.
See, and they always struggle on the road.
Exactly.
So, but
they do have Saints at home, so that's going to be a close game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do struggle. They're one of the most notorious teams in big games on the road, and they struggle
because you get away from that dome. So
I mean, at the very worst, it's 11 wins.
Yeah, I mean,
and then if everything goes great, undefeated. I mean,
I'm not going that far.
If everything goes their way,
13-3 tops.
If everything goes their way, like I could see that.
Okay.
I can see them beating the Patriots. Just put pressure on Tom Brady, and you're good. There, same with the Eagles. I mean, defense is a lot better than the Patriots there, but the only one I could think of maybe here that off the top of my head that would win just looking here would be the Rams, just because of their defense and they can score like nothing, the Rams. So they might have trouble keeping up, but everyone else, I can see wins out of that, and I can see losses.
All right. That wraps up this episode of DNT Podcast. Hit us up on our website. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Google Play,
Instagram,
Podbean. Subscribe to our iTunes as always, and we look forward to hearing you. All right, thank you.
That's it.